Hey everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. We got my co-pilots also with me. We have Laszlo laying over here, getting all relaxed. There we go. And then we have Miss Molly over here too, loving it up. A little love there. But I just wanted to come on and say I have the same switch on I had last time. That's not what I wanted to say. A little bit of a glare with my glasses, but no, I just wanted to say, I think I said it in my welcome, that I'll be talking about a bunch of different things, a bunch of different topics, and one that in particular that is on my heart today is a bit heavy, but it's something that if I talk about it, maybe in some way would help someone else. And that to me is really important. So, it of course helps me too, but that's not the main reason. But it is on my heart because I know it affects a lot of people. And that's growing up with a disordered personality parent. One that doesn't recognize that the disordered doesn't recognize that they followed in the same footsteps as their parent and or maybe parents, definitely one parent in particular, but doesn't mean it was necessarily environmental. I'll get that straight. Probably not a popular opinion, but I do follow the science. I do follow that in that case where, you know, we've been taught a lot that hurt people hurt people. And that's not true. That's just an excuse, because I can tell you I was extremely traumatized as a child growing up. And I still have my triggers that I work through. But I don't set out to maliciously hurt people. If I do so, it's not intentionally. I can't say the same about my disordered parent. Flat out say my disordered mother. I can't say the same thing. She doesn't do things maliciously and for her own selfish benefits, which she very much does. So, growing up in that dysfunction, I didn't know any different. So I didn't know what it's like to have a normal relationship with a parent. My father was definitely in the picture, but some of it, how he was raised was very different. He was actually the end of the silent generation. So if you're not familiar with that generation, maybe you want to take a look at that. But as well as taking a look at disordered personalities. But anyway, it's not that he didn't love me or doesn't love me. And some of the thing I think he was doing is, well, he was never raised to show emotions, and he was never raised to, there's a big disconnect with him and emotions. And probably on top of it, he was in survival mode of living with my mother. But, and I'm not making excuses for him because he played a role in all of the dysfunction as well. But what am I getting at? My whole point of this is just saying that you're not alone if you recognize there's something quite off, but you just accept that, oh, that's just the way it is, that's just how mom is, or that's just how dad is, or that's just how I grow up. that you are not alone. You don't have to just say, hey, that's the way mom or dad is. You don't have to necessarily accept how you've been treated. So there's a lot, I just want to say there's a lot more disordered personalities out there than I think we've all acknowledged. And I do want to say that narcissism gets thrown around a lot, and that is, yes, there is a narcissistic personality disorder. And I'm not diagnosing anyone, just to let you know up front. But I am going to talk about it because I am a child of a parent that has a disordered personality. There are a lot more disordered personalities out there, people with disordered personalities, than we acknowledge as society. I think society as the world as a whole. And there's a darkness to them and a maliciousness to them that I'll probably delve in on another day. But definitely not of the light. And those of us that are light workers need to be aware of this. Because we tend to be the ones that they manipulate and control. So just wanted to let you know that there is more than narcissism out there that are disordered personalities, although they all overlap. And it's when they get diagnosed, it's, when they're doing these same patterns of maliciousness, basically, of disorder over periods of time where it doesn't change. Their patterns don't change. They don't correct themselves. They don't better themselves. They stay those same patterns, and they consciously make those choices. And that's a hard pill to swallow as a child of a disordered personality. I myself tried for, I feel like, centuries. I know I haven't been around in this life in centuries, but it feels like I tried to help her for centuries until I finally said, you know what, enough's enough. Me helping her is not helping me heal, because it affects my emotions, but of course it affects my physical body too, and how I show up in other relationships and in my life, in my work, in everything. So that's when we have to truly empower ourselves and say enough's enough. So with that being said, you'll probably see more topics on this, maybe not every time, but you will see me speaking about this more, just because it is so predominant in this world right now. And we probably will talk about the spiritual side of this really soon. All right. I hope you have an amazing day. Take care. Talk soon.